welcome to another video. VW Van Life, Matt here. I am Matt. Good people. Just thought I'd give you a quick rundown of my van units, how I made them, what they cost, because I posted a photo on Just For's forum on Facebook, and I had quite a lot of people ask me where I got the flat pack from. So when people say that, I take that as a compliment, as in it must look pretty good. So a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. One, it's not flat pack. I made all of this myself, all custom made. I did have I went to a company, a bespoke furniture company, to ask if they could do this and how much it would cost, and got a quote. They wanted £1,250 something, and that was excluding VAT. So you're looking at around £1,500 they wanted to make these units. Well, I wanted to do this on the cheap, and of course it's a caravel, so it has all the plastics in the side and the roof lining. It's already insulated, so I needed to make something, because all these units were just for standard vans. They didn't take into consideration the panels that you have. And again, with the curtains I had to source from a German company called Baymex. I did do a video on them when I fitted and installed the curtains last year. I think they cost around £150 for the curtains all the way around, plus the cap divider. But yeah, so the units themselves, this is the one I wouldn't advise getting the gloss black finish. Looks great, but as soon as you touch it, it leaves fingerprints, marks really easy, and shows up every single little imperfection. But it looks great, and it goes with the colour scheme that I wanted, with the black and grey. So it matches the rock and roll bed. The first thing I done was I actually fitted the rock and roll bed. I got this from a company called Streamline, a UK company. It was expensive. I think it was £700, and then it was an extra whatever it was, I can't remember now, for the cushions, for these cushions and the armrests. It's the seat belt. The seat belts, I don't know if you can see, but the ones that came with it were metal ones, and they stuck right out, so I purchased these ones off eBay. They now work and fit. And then I went down, after relentless searching, I ended up going on again on the forums and asked if anyone knew where I could get some of this wood from. And it turned out there was a place called Evo Designs, and they're based in Wareham on the south coast, just outside of Poole. They supplied me this wood. It was £144 a sheet, and the sheets are 8x4, so they just about fit in the van. I had to lay my bed down and lay them on the top. So I got two sheets of that, £144, that's £288 in total just for the sheets. While I was there, I got all the fittings that I needed, all the little door latches, hinges, and I did get a lid stay as well, but I've decided not to fit it, and instead for this lid I've got some removable hinges, because I'm not going to be using this one too much, this cupboard. I don't think it'll just be for junk food, crisps, chocolate bars, but I'll show you in there in a minute. I then purchased 6 metres of the edging trim off eBay, £12. For the wood, because it's 15mm lightweight plywood, laminated, I don't know if you can see on the door, but all these edges were exposed. You could see the ply. So I got some laminated edging strip, again off eBay. I think that was £4.20 for 5 metres. So I got 10 metres of that, which has done all the little edging, so there's no edging showing. And then it was a case of just seeing how I wanted to build it all up. And to start off with, the first thing you need to take into consideration is your fridge, if you're having a fridge unit. And I've got a fridge in here. I've got the Dometic, is it CRX 50? So I lined up where I wanted to put that. I then cut out a section of the rear panelling just for airflow, and then from there I've got one big sheet of wood and I cut it down to the height that I required, and I put it in along here, this whole strip, and then up to the fridge. I then made a couple of ends next to the fridge, secured them in, and then from there we then divided, there's another divider here and another one there. I then cut out the door, and then I had loads of offcuts, so I was able to make a little cupboard above the fridge. I then got the sink, which is the Smev 9722 again from Evo Designs, with the electronic ignition, with the tap. All in all, that was £300. So basically, these units have only cost me, excluding the sink and the fridge, cost me less than £500, but that includes buying the tools to do the job. So I bought myself, I've got a circular saw cutter, I think it's, I can't remember the size, I think it's 175mm. I also bought a fine tooth cutter for it, so there was no chips at all. You can see it all around the edge, I'll show you in a minute, but there's no chips on there at all. That was a really good finish. I also bought myself a decent Makita jigsaw to do sort of like cut a little random bit, well, to cut out the sink for starters. I used a jigsaw for that. I already had a router. It was just a case of buying some different router bits. So obviously I needed to buy a router bit to do to cut a slot to fit this edging trim. I also had to bevel the edges 45 degrees, which you can't see at the moment, but I'll show you that in a second. So all the back here has all been beveled 45 degrees to take into account the curvature of the back panelling. And then it's just a case of using 3.5 15mm screws and screwed it all together using some connecting blocks, 45-degree angle, well 90-degree angle, sorry, connecting blocks. And that was pretty much it. It took me, all in all, because I work full time as well, it took me maybe about 3-4 weeks to do the whole build, and that's only spending a few hours a day on it. So I reckon someone with skills could probably do this in a good weekend. And if, like me, you have no woodworking skills at all, you've never done any kind of woodwork before, you can expect it to take probably the best part of a week. Luckily enough, 2 sheets has also left me enough plywood left over to do the base of the seat at the front and the back of the seat as well. So I've still got 2 panels to do, and then I've got I want to make a drawer, a pull-out drawer for the back, so I can open the tailgate. Got access to a drawer, but also under the rock and roll bed I also want cabinet cupboard doors, so I can also access the drawer from the inside of the van. Right, let me just show you inside the units. Right, so this is where I started. I put the fridge in first. So there is 4 securing screws, 1, 2, and a couple this side as well. So I secured them into these side panels. There's a side panel there. Here is my table, which is clamped in. And here's the other piece of wood there. Gas bottle, which is secured in, again off eBay. I think that costs £12. So that's all strapped in. And then that runs up through to the gas connector, which is underneath there. You can't really see it, but it's at the back there. So again, with the caravel, you have all this little storage, that little storage rail all the way along. And there's actually, I don't know if you can see, let's get in here and have a look. There's a bit of plastic that goes along there to stop anything from sliding down. I've got a few tools and bits and pieces in there. That's where the ashtray is. I wanted to keep that so in case, because I am a smoker, I know, dirty habit. So I can take that out and still be able to smoke in the back. I know, disgusting. We've got support along the front there. There's also one at the back. See all those connecting blocks, plenty of them. Gas bottle. You need a drop vent. Let me get these out. And using the original seat bracket, I was able to use the drop vent there. I just took the bolt out and 57mm drop vent. Fit lovely. That's my water bottles. I've still got to plumb it all in. Again, it is a work in progress, but we're getting there. It's the rock and roll bed. It did come with this panel, which is just stuck there at the moment, but I've got a sheet of wood that's going to go all the way across, and then the wood will come down here. Then using a bit of vinyl wrap, I'll be able to cover all of those little gaps up. So if you have a caravel, you'll know that right here is a hole for the seat belt that comes up through. And again, just using a bit of vinyl wrap, we've been able to hide that. And again, if you do have a caravel, you also notice you've got a seat belt bracket holder there. So 27mm end plug will cover them up nicely. Which does the job. So again, this is that cupboard. And in there we have the leisure battery, which I was able to make a bracket for, which you can't see at the moment, but it's sat on a bracket, some angle bar underneath, and it's all screwed down. So that's my leisure battery all ready to be wired up for the electrics. I know a lot of people say, oh, we should run the electrics first, but it's okay. You'll see when I do the video on how it'll work, that all works out. Yeah, and these are quick release, so if I need to, I can just, and then it all just pops up. I can't be bothered to take that off at the moment, but yeah, it's nice and easy. You can, I don't know if you can see, but this here, this edge here, is all beveled at 45 degrees. Might be able to see that better from around the back. Right, let's go around the back and I'll show you how it all looks. Right, so also with it being a caravel, you have these like mushroom bolts which stick up, which is a little bit annoying. And they're to secure a seat, so I could keep them in there and have another seat back in here. So if I wanted to, I could have the 5th seat. But I'm not worried about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these bolts, take them out, cut them down, and then re-weld them into a 57mm plate. That's a 57mm, diameter, only a probably 4mm plate, and that will make that nice and flush. And I can just put a nice little rug over the top, but a rug with 2 little holes. So this is for my table. This all needs cleaning up and then painting. So I cut little holes in the rug, and then I'm going to do the same to this one. Take this out and just leave the little hole, just so that when I have the table up, I can either have it at the end here, which is fine for the bed, so I can have the bed out and still use the table, or if you're sat at the back, you can use this hole here. But let me just show you what I've done for the table. So I cut the head off the bolt, and bit 57mm diameter. So I just welded the bolt onto here, all nice and straight. Yeah, great, lovely. And in she goes, just like that. You might think this is a bit of hassle, but it's not really. Considering these supports to actually buy, I think are about £70 for the actual table leg, and all it costs, this is 57mm exhaust pipe, Yeah, exhaust pipe, 57mm, and that cost me again £12. Why does everything cost £12? And then the table here, let's see if I can get this out. Right, so this table here just unclips, sorry, and we can slide it out. This is not easy doing it single-handed. And you can see this I got from a camping store. Again, it was about £12, £13 I think. Everything seems to be roughly the same price. So rather than spending the 70 odd quid, it's cost me hardly anything, and then we still have plenty of wood left over. And that just fits onto there like that. And that's my table. So I have my table, and then I can also move it closer to me. That chair is a swivel chair at the driver's side with the safe. I have ordered the swivel seat for this side, the base. And if you're wondering why there's no door card on there, it's because my central locking failed and I had to drill out the door panel to get to the pump, the little actuator for the central locking. So that's I've got some tiger seal to stick it all back together. Now I've fixed the central locking, but I don't want to start using that tiger seal until I've actually gone through everything else and made sure there's nothing else that I need the tiger seal for. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Smash the thumbs up, comment. If there's any ideas, or if you need any help, any advice on how I've gone about things, then hit me up, let me know, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.